Welcome to the present. Dayo, how you enjoying this wonderful, fantastic victory over the arch enemy, over the arch rival Spurs?
Hey, dunk on their head. Dunk
Exactly,
on their head.
exactly.
Dunk it on their head. Ah, please, I beg. I said in the preview video that we did when I
Yep,
said without our without some of our best midfielders and our first team midfielders, we can't make excuses anymore for this team.
sure.
You just have to find a way to win.
To win,
Find a way to win. That's all. That's it. We've gone beyond flimsy excuses.
definitely.
When I looked at the bench and I saw 4 new youngsters, I was like, oh my God. But then I now looked at the senior players that were on the bench. And I was like, we have people that can still do damage here. You know, Gabriel Jesus coming in. You know, we even still.
Still on the bench.
People forget that Kiwior is still on that bench, and Kiwior is a decent defender as well.
Sure.
You know, so if we needed more defensive power on that left side again with Timber, maybe bringing out a Thomas Partey or a Jorginho, and then allowing Timber to go and play pivot with whoever. You can bring Kiwior to left back. You know, So yeah, I'm just happy for the win. I'm happy we got the 3 points. The most important thing this season is getting 3 points. That's all that matters. You know,
Very important.
that's
Very,
all
very
that
important.
matters. So yeah, like I was laughing in my head. I was like, imagine playing 38 games. I said, imagine playing that. My brother, thanks, man. I appreciate the guy wants my brain. I just couldn't. I couldn't. I lost all control today. Imagine playing 38 games. If we go and 38 games and we score 1 goal in every game and we win every game and we only score 38 goals. That's all. Like, I don't care. I don't want us to. If you can't score 9, I don't care. Just go in and don't find a way not to lose. You know, and we already have some very, very, very good momentum. We may not look good to the eye, like to most people. People are like, I can't do. Arsenal is not looking like Arsenal. I don't care at this point. We've played 4 games.
That's actually subjective. Like, I don't expect Arsenal to look like the eye candy in every single game. Come on, let's not be genius.
Yeah, because every game is different and you have to approach every game uniquely. But having played 4 games into the season and conceded only 1 goal.
Defense win titles.
Talk to me about my defense again, please. Talk to me about my defense. Talk to me about my defense again, and talk to me with respect when you're addressing them. Because if this is going to be the benchmark for our defense, 1 goal in 4 games. That means in 8 games, if we want to go by those type of stats, then that means we concede 2 goals in 8 games.
Sure.
That means we concede 4 goals in 16 games. You know, in 32 games, we concede 8 goals. And in another 4 games plus that 32, so 32 plus 36 games. In 36 games, we concede 9 goals. And in 38 games, that means we should concede only 9 goals this season.
Well, at most, saying let's round up to 10.
You know, because people like doing stats, and that's why I did that just now. Is of course I know we're going to concede a bit more than that, but it's annoying when people want to use stats when it suits them.
Exactly.
To justify what they're trying to say.
The agenda.
But then when you start to use the stats and say, okay, well, if this is how it is now, then we agree, because that's how people do projections. Say, okay, well, if this has happened so far, if we keep this up and all things being equal, and this was for me the weakest Arsenal team that Tottenham was going to play this season.
Exactly. Now, if you look at before the game, pre-match, like Tottenham Hotspur fans were actually enthusiastic. Oh, there's no Rice, there's no Calamari, there's no Moreno, there is no Odegaard. So this was their chance at home to do us in. And I was like, I'm confident in our squad quality, even though the exterior being shown by some of the Arsenal fans that, oh, we should have signed more players, we should have built up the team. Like, we have enough in the team to beat them. And I wasn't shocked. You go to the preview that we did together, another stream that I did. I'm not surprised by this victory because I believe in my team. See, I understand the mainstream way. Most people want us to win by flamboyant football, score goals like Man City. That's not the only route. We can go by defending well and conceding less goals. See, for next Sunday against Man City, even though I don't want to talk about the match right now, I expect another masterclass defensively and win the game. I don't really see. I love flamboyant football. Trust me, I'm a disciple of aesthetically pleasing football. But when it comes to getting the result on the day, I'm for that too. So I love what I saw today. I was expecting it, and I wasn't disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, most importantly for me, let me let me put it this way. We know Arsenal can play flamboyant football.
Sure.
So I'm not bothered. Like, if you need to now just go and do a job and get the result, just do a job and get the result. You know,
Sure.
most importantly, like, I know you can play flamboyant football. And I think when Mikel Arteta, I think when Arsenal, Mikel Arteta wants to play like other smaller teams, or teams that are not just as strong as the likes of the Liverpools and the Cities and the Man U's and the Tottenham and the Chelseas, who have like a real big squad and spend money. I think on teams that like to sit in the low block, I think we will see the flamboyant football from Arsenal.
Definitely.
But when you're playing a team that you know can dominate the ball a lot, you know this team has what it takes to hold on to the ball, which is like Tottenham, then you change your strategy. And again, you're also playing without your main midfielders. You're playing your team B midfield.
Two key midfielders, Rice and Odegaard. Yeah.
So you're playing your B team midfield. So yeah, definitely, like you have to change your strategy. You can't go with the same way your first 11 would play because two major players are out of it. And so I didn't understand, and it was like, oh yeah, but you guys parked the bus. What did you expect when we did not have our first team complete?
Yeah.
It'll be different if our first team, Odegaard was there, Rice was there, and then we parked the bus. I'd be like, we know how our first team plays. We know that they can be pragmatic when they need to. And we know that they can actually press you, because Odegaard is one of the best people, pressing
that triggers the pressing.
That triggers the press, So, and this is why I was telling someone when they're like, oh, if only we had gone into the transfer market and gotten an Odegaard replacement. And I said, are you talking about skill set alone, or what Odegaard gives this team as a whole? Because what Odegaard gives Arsenal as a whole
is unique.
Is not just the tight spaces. He initiates the press. He's the captain. He's like a coach on the pitch.
Exactly.
There's so many things that he does that even if you get another player who has his skill set, they cannot replicate the other things that he does that makes the team the team. Ethan looked good for a few minutes, and when we mentioned Ethan in the stream I was in just now, they wanted to try and diss him, and I said, did you look how many minutes he played?
I actually saw a clown that does Man City stream saying he looks G2. I'm like, what were you watching? Like, what were you watching? The maturity that boy shows even before this game on the pitch, even for Vieira's maturity, the physicality and maturity.
The thing is, rivals will always look through a biased lens. They can't, and that's why it upset. Like I tell people, like, I support Arsenal. I love this club, right? But I love the game of football. And if Arsenal, my club, does something wrong to try and damage this game, and they have to penalize my club, I pray they penalize them. If Arsenal have to be relegated for doing something illegal to damage the game of football, because if you damage the game, who's Arsenal going to play?
Exactly.
Like, if the game goes away, it goes away. So my thing is, I love football, and so when I do watch people, like, that's why you hear me sometimes when I talk about rival teams, when I'm speaking about how they play and how good I think they are. If you look at it objectively without any bias, these guys have some players that can hurt you. Tottenham have players that can hurt us. But if you look at it as a team, right, they're miles away from us.
Okay, let me ask you a question, right? I'm seeing sports fans, for me, even though I hate them, like I said, I can still be objective. The way they were giving it in on Sri Lanka, I'm like, did you watch the game? Sri Lanka was playing against, for me, I won't say arguably, the best center defensive pairing in the world right now. So what did you expect him to do? Gabriel and Saliba are solid defenders. Even though, let's say they were not playing for Arsenal, I would still recognize those guys are solid defenders. What did you expect Sri Lanka to do? Like, this guy didn't play poorly. but sports fans think that he's a scrub, it's horrible. Do you think that's fair?
That's what I'm saying. It's not. But Spurs fans overrate their team.
Okay.
They overrate what the capacity of what their players can do. They
And
overrate their team, and they think that they think that they are the start all and be all. And that's where the problem is. When you rate your players so highly, and then your players don't have the capacity to be able to get to do what you. Solanke has only proven that he's a good striker in one season.
yeah, one season.
And Solanke is what, 24, 25? Or how old is he?
No, I think it's 27.
27. Yeah. So
Yeah.
he came from League One. He's only been able to prove it for one season. And in a Bournemouth team where hold on.
They play to his strengths.
Yeah. No, my son was playing the piano. I was like telling him to turn the volume down a little bit because YouTube might think it's music and start giving you problems. So and I'm not dissing Solanke. I'm just saying like he's no Haaland.
No.
And even Haaland got pocketed by Saliba last season.
Exactly.
So I don't really understand why they think that way. Like when Arsenal was crap, when we were crap and Poch was making Tottenham look good and Tottenham was getting to the finals of the Champions League, I admitted that Tottenham was better than us.
Exactly, they were better. You remember this guy that played for Tottenham in the midfield, Dembele. He was better than the midfielders we had at that time. Yeah, and I was wishing Arsenal had Dembele because Dembele was just circling on the ball, very creative, very industrious, physically. Still, like sometimes, even though you hate a rival, you can acknowledge when they have some good players.
You can acknowledge when football is football. When good football is good football, you can be like, hey, you can be like, hey, you know what? Hands down, I see that I would have preferred if my team was playing like this.
Exactly.
But the fact that they can't come to terms with how good we are right now, hey, Mr. Cyrus, I appreciate you too, sir. The fact that they can't, come to terms with how good we are now and where we're going. And then they try to banter, and then in one breath they say something silly like nobody can beat Pep, he's the best, City have a better squad, but Arteta has to win the league. And I'm like, it's you can't eat your cake and have it. You can. Yeah, you have to pick a struggle. If you're going to talk football, let's talk football. But if you're going to banter, you're going to let's yell and banter. Let's just do that and have fun.
Let's talk about the game. So the first 20 minutes, it looked like, I think objectively, Spurs had the majority of possession, but there was no incisiveness from them. They were just I call needless possession they had. And we could see our game plan was to counter them. And what did you make of Jorginho's contribution today? Because there were times I was like, the legs, but Jorginho showed his experience, even though he had no legs. But positioning for me, sometimes those dodgy technical fouls he was making for me actually were justified, and we saw him cramping up maybe to the end of the game. So what will you make of Jorginho's contribution today? Because a lot of Arsenal fans don't rate him, which I understand, but come on, he can still do a job for this squad. What do you think?
I think Jorginho did what we wanted him to do. We needed a leader. We needed a leader on that pitch. And you could see that, for me, what he did bring to the pitch was the control and telling players what to do, where to move. Yeah, he doesn't have the legs. Yes, he was no. I can pick out very few Arsenal players today who I can say, oh, it stood out. Timber, I can say stood out. Saliba and Gabriel stood out.
What do my stand up? Because for me, they're at a certain level that I've seen them consistently perform at that level. They can. What can they do?
And when I mean stood out, I'm saying based on how Arteta set us up to play and putting in the factor that we didn't have Rice, we didn't have Odegaard, we didn't have our first team.
Yeah.
Putting all of this together and setting us up to play defensive and play counter when we're not actually a counter-attacking team.
I see that point.
Is why I say they stood out to me, because I'm putting this, parameters around them to say, okay, well, this is a different way that we're going to play today. So they stood out for me. Jorginho did not stand out, but I don't think he was terrible.
It wasn't. It wasn't.
So yeah, I think everybody played the role that they were supposed to play. Ethan came in and did what he was supposed to do. Bukayo Saka helped a lot with defending. Martinelli looked good today to me, honestly. I think he missed that chance where he could have squared to Saka, or he could have taken a better shot.
I watched that passage of play 3 times. it wasn't his fault. If you go watch the replay, you will see that Van der Ven was covering that gap and running there.
Yeah.
So there were like 3 sports players. So the only thing I will actually say he did wrong was the team shot. Aside from that, he couldn't have got
Yeah.
that ball to Saka because
Oh no, I'm saying no. That's why I
there.
said. That's why I said maybe earlier before he actually made it. Like on the first touch, second touch should have been a straight cross to Saka, who was already running down the
Van der
middle.
Ven is
I know,
actually
but that
rapid.
I know, but that would have been Saka and Van der Ven at that point, which means he can open up. And if Saka's first touch is back into the 6-yard box, he's running into the 6-yard box. He could have gone for a way. I'm just saying there's many ways, but bottom line is he looked good. And defensively, I think he put in a shift today. Kai Havertz put in a shift today. You know, Kai Havertz
Very
put
underrated.
in a shift. You know,
Very underrated.
put in a good shift today.
Yeah.
You know, for this, for how we were set up and what we were going to face Tottenham at with the way what we had, we did what we needed to do. Mikel Arteta, we won dirty, and sometimes winning dirty is how to do it. You know,
I'll call it winning ugly. I think dirty is somehow
okay. Winning ugly and dirty are the same.
That's semantics.
Them all in the same boat.
Brackets.
Most people that dirty are ugly.
You're looking for the woke people to come after you.
The woke people are going to come after me. I'm joking. If you're woke, stay woke, man. Stay woke. Peace. I'm not trying to start nothing.
So guys, don't forget, as you are enjoying this stream, do us a favor, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you turn on your notification bell. And one more time, please go to Banter on the page. That's his channel. Make sure you subscribe, like his video, and support Dio. Very, very imperative. So on X, I was seeing a lot of Arsenal fans, which I'm surprised they're saying, Partey had a bad game. Like, were they watching what I was watching? Or maybe do you share their perspective? Because I didn't see Partey have a bad game, in my personal opinion. So I don't know what they're watching. What do you think?
Arsenal fans are the most. I need to go and look at the dictionary and find the right word to define some Arsenal fans. In fact, a lot of them, especially those ones on that very toxic platform called X.
Yeah.
Like they ask for a club to play well and win. Oh, we're going to lose. These are the same. Let me tell you, these fans that you're talking about are probably the same guys who were losing their crap brain when Odegaard got injured.
Yeah.
Who were saying the season is over. These are the same fans who were saying we're going to lose. You know, we're going to lose to Tottenham. We're such a terrible club. We didn't buy well in the window. These were the same fans. And then we go there and we secure a victory. Then these same fans, guess what they want to do now? Now they want to shift the goalpost.
Exactly.
Thomas Partey did not play well. Oh no,
what do you want?
But this guy did not also play. And I'm like, hold on. Did we win? Yes. Okay. Is this type of winning sustainable? Yes.
So
if we can go anywhere and score 1 goal and lock up shop and leave with 3 points. What else are you asking for? Now you want to shift the goalpost because you said we were going to lose. You said the season is over. You said Arteta is not good enough. You said without Odegaard we can't play. You said all of these things, and then we go ahead and then we win.
They move the goalpost.
Then you want, and these are the worst type of fans. They're the worst type of fans. They're not really. It's not really about
hustling.
It's not really about
hustling for engagement.
No, it's not for engagement. No, it's not even the ones that have a channel. I'm just saying even the one, not fans that fans.
But you know, engagement pays on X, right? No, they pay money on X. Yeah, hustling for engagement.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying like just the general fan there's fans who are on X who don't get a lot of engagement that talk like this. They don't have fan followership and all that, and that's how they are.
They're hoping. They're pushing the boat, which is crazy.
Yeah, because for me it's like, if you don't believe in Arteta, you don't believe in the team, then say your piece. Say I don't believe in the team, but don't come and say something as silly as because of this we're not going to win. And then when the team proves you wrong, you then want to then change your tune. You want to move the goalpost, or you want to kick the can down the road by saying something more ridiculous. So I don't share their sentiments. I think that every player on that, barring this happens to every player. Players lose the ball. Players get pressed.
Exactly.
It's part of the game. I think that everybody played the role that they were supposed to play, how we set up to play. I think we set up that way intentionally to play that way, and everybody played their role very, very
Even
well.
last season, if you record correctly, even last season, Spurs had the lion's share of the ball. Why
Yeah,
we acting
and then,
as if they have the lion's share of the ball and we scored 3 goals in first half? So why are we acting as if this is new, this is sudden, that this is the seventh wonder of the world? No, no, no.
I think it's because Rice and Odegaard were out, so people were already like, "Oh, now you guys will be in trouble." You see what you're going to do without blah blah. And I think that's where that came from. And then of course, the minute they realized that, oh, this Arsenal team, even without their first midfield, can do damage. If you remember in the
Exactly.
preview that we did, remember
Yeah.
I said, I mean, for those if you're watching, just you can go back and watch that video again, so that the number on that video can go up. But
Yeah, guys,
I made it
it's on the channel, it's on the catalog. Go
on the
watch it
channel. Yeah,
again.
go and watch it
Yeah,
again. So I made a statement where I said we should lean on our strength, which is defense.
sure.
I said hit them on the counter, and then I said even if you don't score on the counter, win set pieces in dangerous places.
I remember that vividly.
And I
Yeah.
said because we're good at set pieces, I gave a stat where I said 1 out of the 9 corner kicks will go in. 1 out of 9 or 10 will go in. If we can get up to 10 corner kicks, 1 will go in. That's just it's something that we do very well at. And then
So
also,
let me, sorry to interrupt. Let me ask you a question. Yeah. I saw Paul Merson, who used to be a former Arsenal player. I'm not going to call him a legend. I think that word is loosely used these days. Contest the fact that should have been a foul on Romero. Gabriel pushed him a little bit. And I'm looking like that wasn't a foul, number one. That was a notch, so that's not a foul. And coming from an Arsenal quote-unquote legend, trying to pander to the mainstream. I'm like, what is going on here?
The question you should have asked him was, what happened last year in Newcastle when Joe Linton pushed Gabriel in the same way and they scored? In fact,
that was a proper push. That was a
where
push.
he leaned on him. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying, but and that wasn't called. So look, I don't see. This is why I said I can't take people like that seriously, because I think that at the end of the day, they're more like, let's just pander to what everybody likes to hear.
Yeah,
and everybody, the Arsenal hate is a real thing. So pandering to the Arsenal hate, is them getting more people saying yes, it's true. And that's just nonsense. You should call it what it is. That was not a foul.
Never.
He did not push him, and he nudged him away to get half a yard.
Yeah, that's a nudge. Yeah, it happens in football.
Football is a contact sport.
Exactly.
It's a contact sport. He nudged him away to get half a yard, and he needed to nudge him to get half a yard to be able to jump that high.
Yeah.
Because again, if he stood there and jumped that high, because he jumped higher, if his arms are now on Romero as he's heading the ball, that's a foul. That's a foul.
That's a foul, yeah.
He nudged him before the ball even came into the box and stepped back. So people like that, like I said, you should ask him what happened with Joe Linton. That's what I would ask him if I was there. I'd be like, okay, so are you saying that the last year when we lost to Newcastle and that goal was scored, that are you saying now that the FA cheated us because we should have won that game and we could have gone on to win the league? Are you saying Joe Linton's was a foul because it wasn't given? So for me, yeah, I don't take people like that seriously. I can't. It's sad that it's coming from an Arsenal player.
Yeah, former player, yeah, which is
but not every player. Like I always tell people, not every player who plays for your club loves the club the way you love the club. Some of them, it's their job. They just came there, got paid, did their job, and left.
But they like to form attachment around Arsenal conversations. That's why you like, okay, maybe he has a genuine actually love and affinity to the club, but it looks like it's more of a paycheck than genuine affinity and love for the club, which is very disappointing.
Yeah, sometimes. I mean,
it is what it is.
If it's for a paycheck, it's for a paycheck. I mean, he needs to do what he needs to do to secure the bag. But then be honest about your assessment, because when you make statements like that, and people can pull up other scenarios where you did not back that up already.
Exactly.
Then it seems like you're two-faced.
No, it doesn't seem like. I think he's two-faced.
But that's something that it then becomes. Yeah. I mean, like, to be fair, but because maybe he wasn't asked about the Newcastle one, is why I said it can seem like a two-faced. Because if I have a video where
you like to give benefit of the doubt too much.
Because I don't. No. And I'll say why. Because I don't have any video that I've seen where he responded to the Newcastle one, but I have evidence to what he responded to on this one. So my thing is, now that you brought it up, I will go and look for those interviews and see what he said on that one. If he said that was a foul, right?
Yep.
Then he's being consistent by
So
saying
that's a fair way of looking at it too.
yeah,
That's a very,
that
very
he's
fair
saying
way of
that
looking at
but
it.
if he had said, oh, no, that one was not a foul, that in fact Joe Linton is allowed to block Gabriel Magalhaes because Gabriel wanted to jump and you pushed him down.
Yeah.
This was
Hands on
Romero.
his back. Hands on his back.
It's not if Romero wanted to jump. He just pushed Romero so he could get space.
Yeah.
You know,
and get the
so,
momentum to jump up. So for
Yeah.
me, good goal. The referee even VR didn't even look at it. So that's from a fantastic goal. And as soon as we scored, I can tell you most Arsenal fans were confident that if we play that game till tomorrow, there's no way Spurs are going to score. If we play that game till tomorrow, they were not going to score.
They didn't look like they wanted to score after that goal. Sadly, they look defeated.
Yeah.
They look defeated after that goal. Spurs as a club, they're just I just don't like them. Number
they
one,
are coasting to the emotions for me. I think Spurs are coasting to the emotions, and like you said, so many Spurs fans are living in some kind of delusion. They're not as good as they think they are. I remember when some of their fans were so keen on making sure Arsenal doesn't win the league. I was like, if you do that, you will sign Timo Werner, and they had the likes of Timo Werner, Bernard Johnson. Those are road runners. Those are not footballers. They're road runners. They're not footballers.
Like when the Tottenham fans last season said were celebrating their own loss.
Yeah.
Against the City.
Yeah.
And celebrating that Son did not score that ball because they didn't want Arsenal to
win the league.
To win the league. When you're celebrating your own team lose, I don't care under whatever circumstance.
That is a different low level mentality. Is a different kind of low level mentality.
So that's why for me, like, because I remember just a few days ago there was this thing trending everywhere where it's like, oh, if Arsenal win the league but Tottenham win the Champions League, that would I take that? I said, yeah. That's why I said you would allow Tottenham win Champions League before you. I said, I don't care. I won the league.
You just win the league, yeah.
Like I'm like, what do you want me to say? That you want me to be happy that my team did not win anything because
exactly.
So that was the option. Like if you win the league, Tottenham win Champions League, or both teams don't win anything. Okay. And some people are saying, oh, both teams don't win anything. And I said, how can you say you want your club?
I want to win. Anything? I understand that it will be feel some type of way that Alliance Sports will win the Champions League, but I want the league. For me, the league is the bread and butter. For me, it's the premier competition, followed by Champions League, followed by the FA Cup and the Carling Cup. So even though because we've not won Champions League, a lot of fans are projecting that it's a superior trophy. I don't think so. Let's use our brain. Let's be sensible. 38 games versus maybe 9 games at most in the Champions League. Come on, where you can have the luck of the draw.
Yeah, so, I think for us, the Champions League, we win it in 2027. I think that's where Arsenal wins the Champions League. But I think we win the Premier League this season.
Yeah.
I'm hopeful. I am hopeful that we win 2 cups this season. The Premier League is definitely the goal, and maybe just get a Carabao Cup.
I think we could win the Champions League this season. I just look at the way Arteta is so heavy on the defense, and that's like I said, that's our most. What be the right word? It's a skill set. It is our strongest point.
Yeah, it is our strongest point.
A lot of Arsenal fans don't want to reconcile with that fact. I'm sorry. I love attacking football, but I can reconcile when things change and adapt appropriately. Whether you like it or not, our defense is our strongest point. And if he wins those trophies, why do you care about what rivals are saying?
Yeah. And today we had a lot of our defenders out.
Tomiyasu wasn't there.
Calafiori is not there. Tomiyasu wasn't there. Who else is not playing? Who else is not there?
Zinchenko wasn't there.
Zinchenko was injured as well. Zinchenko had a calf injury, so he wasn't even on the bench. So I mean, at the end of the day, we got the 3 points.
That's priority. That's the priority. 3 points, then followed by performance. So I don't understand why we've got to the 3 points without Rice, without Calafiori, without Zini, without Tomiyasu, without all these other players, and somehow Arsenal fans going to point to, but Partey and Jorginho were not the best. I'm like, are you insane? Are you insane?
This idea of the player was not the best. He didn't play his best. Do you know what the manager asked him to play?
To do exactly.
Did he call the goal? No. Did he lose the
No,
ball in dangerous areas? No.
no.
Did he make clear, obvious errors that you can remember and say, oh, there was a time where Partey had the ball and Partey gave the ball away to Solanke,
No.
and Solanke fluffed the lines. So what do you mean by he didn't play well? Like,
Which is very subjective, because we know we live in a world where people's IQ are very, very fun. So when somebody say he didn't play well, it's extremely subjective. For me, like you said, and I agree with you 110%, 150%, we play to the manager's instruction to the T. And we got the desired result. Not just the result. We got the desired result. Why all this complaint? Why all this complaint?
because I think Mikel Arteta looked at the squad and said, look, if I try to play like my first 11 plays without having Rice and Odegaard in there, there's nobody creating and giving Saka that ball. So there's no point in me having Saka up wide, because I'll be a man short in the midfield. So Saka, come and play as a wing back. I need you to play deeper. Martinelli, I need you to play deeper. Let's let them have the ball. They like to have the ball and they like to play a high line. And so let's let them have the ball. Let's sit mid block to low block. Let's try and win the first duels, win the second duel, win the first duel, use the second duel, And once we're able to do that and you can counter press them, you can go ahead, you can score. And if you're not able to score, win set pieces. Make sure you're winning a lot of set pieces.
Sure.
Because you know how good we are at set pieces, and then take our opportunities, And
which we did. We did. From that corner we scored, and that was it. Do you know coming from a team that had Kolasinac, Socrates, David Luiz, Bellerin, and we have look, and you are telling me somehow you are still questioning. I don't want to say something that I regret on the stream. Because some of these fans are so ungrateful. Look at the clowns I just mentioned. These are clowns in different costumes.
And it's crazy that when you look at the team now and you see what Arteta is trying to do.
Yeah.
And what he's building, it's a team that over the next few seasons is going to win quite a bit, and that's all I really care about. I care about the fact that we're a lot more solid right now.
Yeah.
Teams now know not to mess with us. They know to come correct if they want to play Arsenal.
Do you know the psychological? Sorry to interrupt. I'm sorry about that.
No,
do you know the fact that right now a lot of teams know that once Arsenal score you first,
it's almost a done deal.
It's almost a done deal.
Yeah, it's almost a done deal, and that's where for me. And the thing is, he's built a team that stops other teams from taking shots at us, right?
Sure.
And that also is very strong defensively, but has also built a defensive team that can score.
Sure.
Gabriel Magalhaes has 15 Premier League goals
as a defender.
Last season, the defense contributed 15 goals to the pot.
Exactly.
There were games where all 10 outfield players for Arsenal in one game had shots on target. Every single player. Is the Arsenal fan base too fragile? Yes. I think fragile is one of the words you can use to describe them. But I think they're also double-minded in everything that they do. They're unstable people.
Can I ask you a follow-up question to this question? Do you think the fragility was artificially created?
Artificially created?
Yeah.
I think it's... that could be a reason.
I think so, because I'll tell you a reason. Without the prognosis of Odegaard's injury, right, we saw the clips and everything. And the way the meltdown started the next day, I'm like, he did not pass away. It's an injury.
Yeah. So people...
I remember the Moreno, the Moreno injury. So some people actually, a big content creator was blaming Edu and Arteta for the Moreno injury. How do you blame?
So here's the thing. There's a lot of artificial. Yes, it is artificial, but because the people who are generating these stories and the people who are pushing this agenda, know that the Arsenal fan base are fickle. They will fall for anything. So if I went on Twitter right now and I tweeted at one of the big Arsenal accounts and I said, "Oh, Bukayo Saka is injured for the next 6 months," and someone does a screenshot of it, watch Arsenal fan base just melt down on Twitter, only for them to hear tomorrow that there was no injury, he just got a knock
Yeah.
and they just let him come out. You know, so yeah, it is artificial sometimes. It is artificial sometimes. You know, so I don't.
Look at your
That,
brother. Look at your
that's why
brother. Look at your
he
brother.
said it was truth. Like that's why I don't. That's why I don't go. That's why I don't go to Twitter.
Mr. Efosa. And I agree with Mr. Efosa. I do actually agree. Their characters in the Arsenal fan base, for financial reason, created this because see they leashed on the fact that let's be fair, let's take it away from Arsenal fans, right? Human beings, most human beings are not the brightest. I'm not trying to insult anybody. It is what it is. And they love to follow what is trendy, what is catchy.
Mhm.
If you have enough followers, right, people just believe anything you say without researching it.
Yeah, I agree with you, which is why I said a lot of it can be artificial, and it's also because whatever the motives are behind them generating artificial stories
Yeah.
like that, I don't know everybody's motives. Some people are just people who either just are like, so there's two batches of people to me. There's the people who know their motive, they know that it's wrong,
Yeah.
but they know that this is a money making thing for them. They're going to farm engagement from it, so they're going to make these stories up and they're going to put it out there. Those people know themselves. I don't know. I can't speak for anybody, but there are people who are the second batch of people are the ones who genuinely are just not the smartest as regards to haven't done their research and just spitball. You know, oh yeah, did you see the way his leg bent? In
Yeah.
fact, I know somebody whose leg bent like that in 1986 when they played on game. This injury is a 6 month injury, and they
Yeah.
just put stuff like that out. You know, and so for me, like I try to gather my own information and gather my data, and then eventually I make my own, you know, recommendation. And then the third batch are just the ones who are there who just share it. Those are the ones that I really are mad at. They just come and
And she,
retweet
yeah.
and we share and we repost and screenshot and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? You haven't even waited for the official Arsenal
No.
website to say, oh, you know what? Hey, we've done our thing. Oh, you know, it's crazy. It's crazy. And I think also it's easier to do it with Arsenal now that we're playing better football and looking good, because now you can
Yeah.
push more of an agenda. There's no, if we're not playing very well and we're not looking good, you won't get all this meltdown. Because what would have happened is that I've said, oh, you're such a terrible team. Tottenham will beat you. You know, so
Exactly.
there's no point. Like there'll be no, even with Odegaard, Tottenham would have beat you anyway. So there's no point. That's what they would have said. But the difference is they realized, oh my God, without Odegaard and Rice, Tottenham could beat Arsenal. This is such a big thing. So we've got to play off this Odegaard story. Let's make it look real bad. Yeah. So the fans who just take things in and just run with it, they are the ones that upset me the most. The ones that create it, I can understand someone who's creating to farm this thing because you want to make money. Hey, if you are running the business and you want to do that,
Yeah,
I
the
recommend.
sharers too. They're trying to make
Yeah,
money too. Those
yes,
that
yes,
repost it and
yeah,
reshare it, they're trying to
yeah.
make
So
money too.
no, but no, but I'm saying like there's some people who just reshare everything they see on the internet and really are not even trying to make money, but they're just the ones who are like continuously spreading. Like retweet, reshare, retweet. Whether that might not be their source of income. There's some people who are just like that, and then what they do is they just go onto the platform and search for what is trending. Arsenal is trending. Oh yeah, let's just share whatever is on Arsenal now.
Yeah.
It's
So
frustrating, but
because
yeah.
the way they made it seem as if without Odegaard and Declan Rice Declan Rice for one game, Declan Rice is back for the City game, right? He's back for the Atlanta game on Thursday, and they make it seem as if we had a midfield crisis. I'm like, what crisis? Where's the crisis? What crisis?
But also, I think that also played in on the positive side for us. Let me explain what I'm saying.
Okay.
When people created that whole there's a midfield crisis, the Tottenham base was like, yeah, we're
They
going to
bought
beat
it.
them. We're going to beat them. They don't have
Yeah.
anybody in the midfield.
Yeah.
Yeah, Arsenal is down. So I think it had its positive spin on that side. For us, I personally think that Tottenham fans, because I sat on the screen with a Tottenham fan who said to me that he said they're going to slap. We're going to slap you up.
How naive can you get?
3-0,
Huh?
3-1. No,
Wow.
they were predicting 3-0, 3-1. And then I told him, I said, well, the other Tottenham fan that was on the show, on that show, I told him, I said, well, you seem to be more reasonable one, but let me just say this to you. I think Arsenal wins 2-0. I think we keep a clean sheet. And he said, oh, explain. And I said, well, we're going to lean on what we're good at defensively because
Sure.
our midfield is not there. You guys like to play a high line and you play dominating football. You like to keep the ball. And that's fair enough. Keep the ball against Arsenal. We set up very well when we're off the ball. And I feel bad for you once we get a chance to counter. And
Sure.
I restated what I said to him. I said, we counter, we either score or we win crazy set pieces in dangerous areas.
Exactly.
And you know how dangerous we are at set pieces. I said the difference with you guys is you guys play for open play goal all the time and you play one
Yeah.
style. You guys are not the best guys at set pieces when you have them in dangerous areas, and you're not the best guys when it comes to other styles of scoring goals. So yeah. So I just said to him, I said, this is probably what is going to happen. And I predicted it. I mean, the 2 goals, I was so mad. Raheem Sterling, come on, you needed to score.
So okay,
But yeah,
thank you for bringing it up. What do you think about Raheem Sterling's cameo appearance today? He had a few
I,
minutes. Him and Jesus.
I
What do you
think
think about it?
I think they did what they were asked to come in to do.
Yeah.
They did. Look, I think people expect that he was just going to get on the pitch today, take on 4 players,
Nah.
cut in and score. Oh, Raheem Sterling.
Now today's game was not game for that.
Mikel
No.
Arteta said, this guy's tired, his legs are tired, he hasn't running. You go in there and give cover. Raheem Sterling was dropping back now a lot.
Sure.
He was dropping back. Gabriel Jesus was also dropping into that middle a lot. And then eventually went to the right when Ethan Nwaneri came in.
Yeah. Wanner was now in the middle with
In the middle
Kai.
with Kai. Yeah, so yeah, everybody did what they were supposed to do. Once you do what you're supposed to do and get me 3 points this season, yeah, my good books.
Sure.
I don't care, Kai Havertz. I don't care if you want to do a bicycle kick. I don't care if you want to just put the ball in the back of the net. Like, that's all I care about. My defenders. I love today when I saw what's his name, Gabriel. There was one ball that was coming, and Gabriel did not even take it. I know Ben White did not take it. He just cleared it out.
Just played out exactly.
He just cleared
no.
all that. Okay, let's play out from the back again. I think he looked at the team. I was like, they're a little tired. The guy just cleared. He just kicked it. I said, that's it. Old school football sometimes.
It. Like I said earlier, we can play good football when necessary, and we can get to low blocks when necessary. See, it's about adapting to the opponent and adapting to the situation. So all these gaslight from Arsenal sections, Arsenal fans, we are not fluent. What do you mean by fluent? We won the game. That's the most important thing. You carry your fluency elsewhere. You won the game, and I don't care, because we saw Jose Mourinho win trophies being very dogmatic.
Hey,
so it is what it is.
We've seen Conte do it. We've seen Diego Simeone do it. Like somebody said today, today it was not Mikel Arteta, today was Mikel Simeone. And and I like that. I like what Mikel Simeone did. I like what he did. He came in there, he set up the team. Honestly, I think he deserved the praise more today than anything else. Because when he sets us up bad, we all know how we criticize him. But when he does set us up right against certain teams, with all the different things that we had to deal with, which is not having our midfield, having young players on the bench. And of course, we all know that Mikel Arteta, if you've watched Mikel Arteta over the years, you'll see that he defaults to senior players.
Sure.
That's why in the old days, he'll play people like Rob Holding over anybody else from the academy. And I'm like, dude, they're probably better defenders in our academy than this Rob Holding. I'd rather put them in, but he wouldn't. He defers to senior players. So I knew for a fact that in this game, if he needed to defer to anybody, it would be between the first 3 senior players on the team, which would have been Gabriel Jesus, Sterling or Kirill. And those would be the first people he would probably go to. When I saw Ethan coming, I was a little shocked. I was like, okay, he did give Ethan a chance. And I think that was a forced chance because of Bukayo Saka's knock. But yes, it's a good thing. I'm happy. It's 3 points in the bag.
I'm happy too.
2 points behind City right now. I think what we need to focus on next is Atalanta. Let's take it step by step. Get the boys to go to Atalanta and do the business. Get the points. Get the boys to come back, and then let's come and face City. Last season, we showed them that we could play a low block, defend, and counter.
Sure.
And if only Leandro Trossard had squared that ball, I think
Maybe
would be
the conversation will be
would
different.
that's what I'm saying. So now we've run
Yeah.
from that. And you can see the maturity in this Arsenal team now. You can see
Yeah.
how they play with a lot more maturity than they did last season. Even Mikel Arteta as a manager, you can see that he's a lot more reasonable in his game management and player management. He's saying to himself,
Exactly.
okay, this is who I'm playing, this is what I'm playing, this is what I have. I'm going to play a certain way.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I
So
think
I'm happy.
I think
And
this
really,
season
Arsenal fans should be happy. If any
yeah.
Arsenal fan is filming or you are under the impression that you could have done more, like the highest, the peak was 3 points. You're gonna get more, even though let's say we scored 20 goals, the max is 3 points. So whatever people are shouting, I don't get it. We won the game, got the 3 points. We go to face Atlanta midweek. Then on Sunday, hopefully you'll be here when I do the preview with you and go with the flow. Go with the flow, have a lot to say.
Yeah, he was calling a draw. He was calling a draw that we should be happy. I was like, we can't be happy with a draw.
Exactly.
And that's the thing. It's like, oh, but and I said, listen, we're chasing City. City is not losing their games, and you're saying I should draw. What's the point?
Yeah.
What's the point of me chasing them then?
He's an up. He's an up. So he was trying to be cynical. He's an up. So I don't take him seriously. When it comes to telling you, we can't take a draw. But
I will say this. I think we should go to City and win.
We have to win. No, we have to win too.
No, but I also want to caveat with the second thing. If we don't win at City and we draw with City, right?
Yeah.
And we make them drop 2 points and we draw with City, that means we're going to be 1 point behind them. It's advantage Arsenal.
They're coming to our side. Yeah.
And I know it's going to be harder for them. And
maybe,
at this point,
maybe I'm arrogant. I just think we can go to City and beat them.
No, I think we can beat them this time around. I'm not saying we can't. I'm just saying that for me, what's key is like, football is football. Sometimes you feel like you have what it takes to go win, but on your good day, all your shots just don't go in, even though you're on your good day. And on their bad day and on your good day, the only person that had a good day on them is Edison that day, and he's just stopping every shot.
Sure, it's possible. That's possible.
We've seen these things happen. So I mean, you're firing on all cylinders, but somehow, some way, this goalkeeper just seems the same way. Look at Raya. Raya has been firing on all cylinders the first 4 games.
Exactly.
Raya has saved us in a bunch of games.
I remember when we bought Raya, and I told a lot of Arsenal fans he's a better goalkeeper. Imagine, I put a qualifier, marginally better than Ramsdale. They wanted to rip my head off because of the English bias. Now,
hold on. You said Raya was marginally better than Ramsdale.
Yeah, even though I was just being a little bit more generous to Ramsdale because I think he's more than marginal. But for the sake of he's an Arsenal goalkeeper, I'm not saying he's a better choice because people are saying, why would go and get a goalkeeper? Why will he come and just take a Ramsdale's shirt? I'm like, have you watched Raya?
See,
security is better than Ramsdale. Claiming the crosses, he gives us a level of certainty in the box. Claiming crosses.
Every fan who criticized the Raya transfer and the swapping of Raya for Ramsdale are probably sitting down today saying, "I'm sorry." Every fan who criticized the Kai Havertz purchase need to be saying, "I'm sorry."
Mr. Sisi Dayo. Well, there are some fans who are hell bent on the agenda.
Yes, and that's fair enough. I mean, I didn't know that. See, at that point, I know that it's an agenda, and once I know it's an agenda, then I no longer have to engage with it because I'm like, it is what it is. You're not being reasonable. You're not being honest with yourself. You're being delusional, and you're being very disingenuous to the reality of what's on ground.
Sure.
And if that's what you want to do, hey, I was one of those people who didn't like the Kai Havertz purchase. I was like, why are we buying this guy? Like,
for real?
No, I'll tell you why. No, hear me. Okay. When it got announced, I said, why are we buying this guy? But then I sat down and you'll never find any video of me where I criticized the purchase. But I sat down at home and I said, why are we buying this guy? And then I sat down and I thought and I said, Dayo, take your time. You have to do your research again. I went back, I watched all his Chelsea games that I could watch, the ones I could find. I did some highlight videos. Then I went back and looked at his Leverkusen days. Then I looked at the position of Granit Xhaka. And then I thought to myself, this is what I thought was going to happen. I thought Mikel Arteta was going to move Odegaard to that left side and play Kai on that right-hand side, like the Leverkusen days. That's what I thought. Then I said, and when I saw that, I said, you know what? This might work. but I need to see how he's going to unlock it. That's when I kept quiet, and after that, it is what it was. And when people started criticizing him, I would say I see where he's like, I began to see, and I was like, in the first few games, I was like, on the left side, nah. And I was like, if you can repeat this on the right side, I never thought center forward, to be honest. But then every time
when I heard about the news, and I'm like, Chelsea would not dare, because even Chelsea fans, when they're criticizing him, I'm watching from as a rival, right? Watching from the outside, I'm like, are you guys insane? This is a proper footballer. You don't know how to use him. Because I've always rated Kai Havertz. For me, he's a total footballer. Now, aesthetically, it doesn't look like what mainstream watchers want. But if you watch him, there's a reason why Ancelotti, top managers, love him. He's not coincidental. When I watch this guy, I'm like, why are Chelsea selling this guy to us at 24? That's why it is prime. Like, this is it. I'm like, they won't do it. When they sold it to I told Mr. Lefosa, he's my witness. He's right here. And I told him that this is the biggest mistake Chelsea have done. They just sold us someone that will take us to the next level. Mr. Lefosa is my witness. We talk on the phone. I told it when Arsenal fans were, if you check my catalog, you see my videos. When people were saying, I say, just give him time, watch. That Kai Havertz will be a monumental signing.
I agree with you. Now I'm just saying, like, for me, because I didn't just see it at first. I was like, how I rated him as a player, but I just didn't see how he was going to fit into, because I was still stuck in that Granit Xhaka's role and thinking to myself, how are we going to replace Granit Xhaka? How are we replacing this box-to-box person that's crashing the box, that is now just an amazing midfield player. He's gone from the Granit Xhaka that used to be calamity Granit Xhaka, getting red cards and getting stupid fouls, to the Granit Xhaka who probably got one yellow card throughout the entire season. And I was just thinking to myself, how are we going to figure this out? Like, is Kai the guy? And I looked at Kai's games and I was like, on the left, no. On the right, yes, Kai. But I was like, Odegaard is on the right. Then I thought, maybe Mikel might move Odegaard to the left.
I didn't see him as playing 8. I think Kai is a 9.5, right? He can play as a second striker or as a striker. So I thought I was going to play an orthodox number 8 who will be interchanging with the striker. That's what I saw. That what I thought he was going to do. And if you look at certain games, that's what he does. He can alternate. He can move into the midfield, then go into the attack. So people don't believe that Kai Havertz has a tremendous engine. He might not look like that. It doesn't bust a guts enough, but that guy's engine, even though he proved me wrong. Yeah,
last season already. So I just said to myself, I said, you know what? It is not my place to criticize the players that we buy now.
Yeah,
make the players work. Show me, prove me wrong. If I do feel like they're not good enough, I will say my piece. But prove me wrong. Go with
go with the flow. It's a clown.
A draw against City will be massive for us, right? It's not a must-win game. Listen, it's a must-destroy game. Last season, there's video clips of me saying we're going to beat you 3-1. That's how much I believed in the Arsenal team. Even though we went there and we finally played a score draw, a 0-0 draw, a scoreless draw. This time around, I must say it again.
Next Sunday.
Right? Next Sunday, Man City, watch out. Last year, you played me 3 times. You did not win once. This year, the record continues. And this time around, it's not going to be score draw or tie draw or
we are winning.
Draws. I am coming to your stadium, to the empty Etihad. I am coming to the Etihad. With your 115 fans that will be sitting down there only. I am coming there to take my glory. I'm going to keep a clean sheet. I'm going to do a smash and grab.
And that's it.
1-0. And if we score more than 1-0, I'm done.
Exactly.
You are susceptible to goals. Every team you have played, including if which has scored against you.
Exactly.
We have considered 1 goal in 4 games. And we considered 1 goal in 4. The game we considered a goal in was a game where we're 1 man down.
So we'll be there. Go with flow. We'll be there.
We will be there. We will be
We'll
there.
be there.
We will be there.
And I will invite him for the review. We invite him.
In the words of Mikel Arteta, we will be there. We will be there. Look
Exactly.
at me. Look at to this camera, to camera two. Look at me. We will be there.
Go with the flow. Don't worry. We'll do the preview and you will be there too. We'll be there. So shout out to you, Dayo, for coming on. We won the game. It's been a long day for you. Shout out to you. See our time to come here. I really appreciate your time. And shout out to everybody who has made this stream a very successful one. From Haboli to Mr. Efosa to Oxymoto to High Praise to Cyprus. Sorry. I didn't try to butcher your name. My apologies. Cyrus. To Jeffrey. Shout out to everybody and every one of you.
Can I say something really quickly when you're done?
You can. And Shank, shout out to every one of you. Really appreciate your time and your energy here.
Yeah, I wanted to tell go with the flow that you need to understand that every time Pep Guardiola has won the league, he always starts slow and then he picks up in the second half of the season. This time around, you guys have started fast and you're playing well and you're looking good and your goal machine is scoring. Maybe the tides are turning. Maybe come the second half of the season, we will be there. There will be injuries. Maybe.
Let's not forget, they sold Alvarez. They didn't replace him.
No, don't worry. Maybe this time around, because we have seen this tide before. The same thing. Let me tell you something. The same thing happened in 22-23. Arsenal started really fast. We were going, we Grand Shaka. It was like by December we had amassed 50 points. We were 8 points clear of you, and then what happened? You came and you caught up because like you normally do. Last season it was a similar thing. We started a little, and then by January we started to pick up in January, and we started running and you caught up with us. Maybe this time around, I shall consult the crystal ball and let you know. We will be there.
We will be there. Go with the flow. We'll be there. So guys, one more time, do us that kind of favor, like the video, subscribe if you're new, and make sure you turn on the notification bell. Please guys, I'm appealing to you, go to Banter on the page. You can see the channel right there. Look at his Twitter right there, Banter on the page. You can subscribe and follow, so that you can't tell me you didn't enjoy the quality of the analysis. There was laughter, there was analyzing the game the proper way, not just tasteless banter. No, we do reasonable, witty banter on this side of YouTube. Quality conversations. You can't say they enjoyed it. So support us by liking our videos, subscribing to our channels, and doing the best. Let's just continue to actually push our club. We're not here to pander to Arsenal. We'll actually analyze the game objectively. If it's time to call Arsenal out on Calcutta, we'll do that. And if the team is doing well, we'll actually celebrate and give the plaudits. What do you think, Dayo?
Yeah, that's the whole essence of what I really want. I mean, I really enjoy about this. I can criticize the club when we're doing badly.
Sure.
I can even criticize the game, even when we win, and say, oh, maybe some players need to do better. But when it comes to a derby like this is now the 196th derby between Arsenal and Tottenham when it comes to being league teams. This is now the 210th game that we have both played, both as amateur teams and as league teams. Officially, right now, we have now won 88 of those 210. There's 55 draws, and the rest is for smelling ham. So for me, this was more of a outside the 3 points, which I think is important for our season, for us to go on and actually, first and foremost, momentum. Secondly, go on to make us feel like we can do more at City and win there. Outside it being 3 points, that's going to add to the total number of points we're going to make by the end of the season to winning this season, because I believe we're winning the league this season.
Me too. I share that sentiment.
That win was also a statement to our fiercest local rivals that I dislike. It's like saying, when that guy that you just don't like, you now fight him, and for some reason, he just hasn't been able to beat you in the last 3 years. And yes, that for me is what it's about. That for me is what it's about. And I know Tottenham fans are just right now reeling.
I saw some of their content creators, the way they are actually in pain, the anguish on their faces. I love it, because they were so confident. Oh, no Rice, no Odegaard, they should do something. So I want them. We want them.
There are some Tottenham fans that I am Tottenham as a club. There are some of their fans that I think that they don't deserve. I will say that about those fans. There's certain fans that I think are level-headed fans who have, like the Henrys, for example, they don't deserve that guy. Tottenham doesn't deserve Henry as a fan. Tottenham doesn't deserve X as a fan. Expressions. Tottenham does not deserve that guy as a fan.
Well,
Expression.
he talks too much
No,
sometimes, so he
no.
deserves it.
No. They don't deserve him as a fan because he does so much for them, hyping them up that they always let him down. That is not as a club. You can't have, like, and then they don't deserve people like,
The boy is the one
like
overrating the team. He's
they
not
don't
being
deserve someone like
logical.
Kate.
Like, see, stay where you are. See, appraisal is very important in life. When you're doing your appraisal, make sure you know what level you are. If you are not in the upper echelon, like, don't act as if you are there.
But you know what? Fans can speak about their team. Like, the team needs to step up. The problem is, even as a club, and I mean as a club, like the way they are run and what they do, they don't deserve some of these people. Like, how have you spent 400 million and you brought in Archie Gray this season for 45 million? Like, what are you doing? What are they doing?
I'm not sympathetic towards Spurs, even though I can give them the applauded when they deserve it. But for me, some of these fans, they know the state of their club at the moment. See, when we had Bellerin and Kolasinac, I was not bragging about winning games consistently because I know the quality we had.
Bellerin was quality at a stage.
Post injury, post ACL.
Yes, post ACL,
Yeah,
so
post ACL, we know you're finished.
I can say that, and again, this is to Arsenal. This is where my criticism to Arsenal is. When you see things like that, where you had quality player like Bellerin, and then you didn't win anything tangible with him, and then he had that type of injury, and then we went on to have just the worst part of his career, and then we all started talking back like, oh, why do we have these guys? If we don't start winning with this crop of players that we have, morals are going to drop.
Sure.
Once injuries begin to set in, because guess what? This season we're going to be playing multiple games. It's different from last season. We're playing more games this season than last season.
Yeah, because of the new format of the Champions League.
Yeah. Injuries are definitely going to set in. When those start happening and players start dropping off in form next season, and you still haven't won anything, we're going to end up again with a crop of players that we're going to turn around and begin to criticize. So, Mikel Arteta, I know you're watching this. We will be there.
I'm confident we will win something this
season. Come Sunday, Mikel Arteta. Yeah. Come Sunday, I want you to drag Pep Guardiola by his bald head.
Exactly.
Drag him.
Carry olive oil, put small olive oil and rub it.
When you drag him, his hair must grow. For the first time after the game, you're going to see Pep Guardiola in a press conference with hair, because it is going to forcefully grow out of it.
Exactly.
After we deal with you.
Out of that ball scalp.
This is where the desert produce water and plant to grow there.
So thank you so much, Dayo. So shout out to everybody that has made this stream. We are actually extremely grateful for sharing your time with us. So guys, that'll be all for now. Let's enjoy our victory. Let's enjoy it. Stick it in if you need to stick it in, but no violence. Just let's banter. Let's make our banter witty with those strags on the other side of North London. We are still the kings of North London. So guys, one more time, banter on the pitch. That's the channel name for Dayo. Go and show him some love. Like the videos, subscribe, and make sure you turn on your notification bell. And for Go With The Flow, we'll be there for the preview. Don't worry, I will drag you here for the preview. I will be there. And that'll be all for now. I will see you guys on the next one. Bye for now.